Welcome to Exhibit. I'm in Mussoorie with the all-new Mercedes-Benz C-Class, which has apparently sold more than 37,000 cars, and it's got plenty of truck, which means you and me have a lot of work to do. Let's take a quick look at the exteriors of the new C300D, which comes with the AMG body kit. And let's start with the exterior in the front, which is a single AMOLED grille, and it looks quite distinct. Now you might get confused because this might look like an A-Class and an E-Class together from the front, but if you look very closely, you know that it's different. You know, it's C-Class with a very high performance headlamps, and the headlamps, if you look very detailed, it has a lot of intricacies which looks very cutting edge. Look at the tires, 18-inch 5-spoke, looks very accentuated on the profile. It looks quite long. In fact, they have made it even larger than the earlier C-Class, which liberates a lot of space in the rear seat, which you can see right now. Even with me, my seat adjusted to the front position, I still get plenty of leg room, and there's a lot of breathing space on the top. It is a very luxurious cabin. You know, it might feel, it's very sporty. You know, it's exactly targeted to the young people who like all these little things with all aluminum finish. It screams of luxury from everywhere. You know, and these Burmester speakers, there are 15 of them, by the way. It sounds its part. It's like a moving theater on the wheels. You know, at the rear, it's very simple. It's totally a Mercedes look with these two grills. Now, one of them is fake, of course, but it definitely, in fact, both of them are fake, but it definitely adds to the overall appeal of the C-Class. Let's take a peep inside the boot space, which has a space saver tire, which is actually planted on top of the boot, which takes away some of the luggage space that you can store, but still easily after doing that also you can slide 2 mid-sized suitcases and a couple of handbags, small ones, but not too big, not too large. And it's a decent space, which comes with a manual boot closing, which is something they could have added, because since it is going to be in a price point which is luxury, these small little things makes a difference. Now this is the top of the line variant C300D, which has the heart of a diesel engine. It churns out 265 horsepower, 550 Nm of torque. And if you think that's humongous, let me explain. This is also a mild hybrid system which has a 48-volt battery inside that gives you additional 200 Nm of torque and 15 kW of power, which is additional to the one we're already getting. And that explains why it can do 0 to 100 in 5.7 seconds. And that explains why this car is so agile. Now, of course, we are in these winding roads of Mussoorie. I can't really do a 0 to 100 test because it's not possible. Now this is the bespoke AMG steering, which is so nicer to hold. It has an emotional feel about it. Every time you're sitting behind an AMG steering, it really connects you to the road and talks to the car in some way or the other, which is kind of inexplicable. It also gets a 7 mm ground clearance higher, and every mm in ground clearance helps you not scratch the underbelly, and that way we've been driving over some really bad patches, and so far we've been very lucky. The suspension setup is quite good because it soaks in a lot of things which is thrown at it right now, and even at corners it is very agile. And most importantly, this has so much of safety features in terms of tech, and of course that augmented reality, which Car to X Connect, which now Mercedes is dropped in this C-Class also, which comes with S-Class. It really helps you because it will slow the car if the other car has experienced a pothole. That thing connects to the cloud, and this thing, we have to really experience that. But on paper, that technology really feels very good. But if you're driving in hill, when there's no internet, when there's no connectivity, I don't know how that will work. But what I can tell you right now is that it is a very nice car to drive, and it's very quick. The proportions are very nice because we get these small corners where these big cars are passing by right now, as you can see, and you never get really stuck. You can just come out of it like a breeze, you know. Because of it being mild hybrid, the claimed fuel efficiency is much higher of both the petrol and the diesel variant. But we'll talk about that when we have tested it out. But that's not the only tech which I want to talk about. Even simple things like opening sunroof is through a touch-sensitive swipe button which opens the sunroof in a very fashionable manner, which your kids will find very fanciful. Then you get a touch-sensitive fingerprint sensor on the 11.9-inch screen, which again you can program it so that only you can operate it the way you want to operate it. Then of course they give it a 3D navigation map, which is an interface which Mercedes has been trying to work on it through its cloud interface, which actually communicates. So this car is like a social car which communicates with this other Mercedes cars, and it gives data of the traffic and real-time whatever road blockages that you get, and that can be if you have an option of air suspension, then the air suspension automatically rises, the car will slow down. There's plenty of tech which we still have to test, but on paper this all looks very cool, very, very fanciful. Now it's a simple interface, very, very crisp, and the display is also in this bright daylight also is very good. Only thing which I don't like is that it doesn't come with a ventilated seats, which I think would have been a great feature. It does get seat kinetics, which is kind of a very semi-massage, but it doesn't get a front massage functions that you get in probably a GLC. Now, apart from that, there is another feature that I don't know why it doesn't make sense, because there are no USB ports for the rear seat passengers. And that's something which can be a very creature discomfort to the people who are traveling with you. Apart from that, there's otherwise there are a lot of ADAS features. For example, when you want to do a parking assist, it can really help you in parking in a very great way. Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, all these are standard, which even we don't have to mention about that these days. And once you have got the Mercedes Me app connected, you can do host of other features, which is a separate video maybe in itself. There are 12 ultrasonic cameras, 6 in the front, 6 in the rear. Then there's 15 Burmester speaker system, which is very crisp and quite soulful rather. The 11.9-inch infotainment system in front of you is quite intuitive. It has big icons so that even while driving, you can operate it without taking your eyes off the road. Like for example, radio, music, apps, then you can download some more apps over here. Of course the aircon, everything is all digital here. But what didn't like about the C-Class? Of course, when the price is announced, I'm not going to like that, because it is going to be a price point which is expected, but I would have liked 5 lakhs cheaper no matter what price they launch it. Secondly, I also feel that the design could have been little bit more radical. If you see the earlier generation, that looks more growing on you, maybe because you're used to seeing that. But this actually has no distinct identity, because it can confuse you with an A-Class or E-Class. In terms of space, because it's even a wider wheelbase, so even the people at the back seat are more comfortable. It's like, you can compare this with the 330 Li of BMW. Take me to the airport. While I navigate way back to my airport, we couldn't spend too much time with the Mercedes. Of course, there's plenty of tech that we have to really explore when we get the car for a longer duration. Until that happens, you take care, stay safe, and if you haven't yet, press the like button and subscribe button. Please do that now while I drive my way back to the airport.